Hello, this is the daily COVID update from Deccan Herald. I'm Suraksha.
I'm Akhil.
On the bulletin today, Karnataka records 9 new COVID-19 cases. ICMR suspends the use of rapid antibody kits, and most states are in favor of a partial lifting of the lockdown. But first, the national numbers from Akhil.
As we go to this recording, India has registered more than 29,000 cases of the novel coronavirus in the country. More than 21,000 people are active carriers of the virus. Over 6,000 patients have recovered since they were first tested, and the country has registered 930 COVID-related deaths. 3 months after India reported its first COVID-19 case, the ICMR has collected more than 6 lakh samples for testing. A look at the various states. Maharashtra continues to report higher than national average cases. 522 cases were reported today. The state has nearly 7,000 people suffering from the disease. Gujarat reported 247 new cases and has close to 3,000 active cases. Delhi, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh continue to be in the 3rd, 4th and 5th spots respectively.
Karnataka recorded 9 new cases today and has 299 active cases. Of these, 5 are in the ICU. 193 people have recovered and have been discharged so far. There has been 1 death in the state today. However, since this was a case of suicide, it would not be reported in the tally of 19 deaths. 2 cases each have been reported from Jamakhandi in Bagalkote, Vijaypura, Dakshina Kannada and Nagamangala and Malavalli in Mandya. Contact tracing is underway for 1 patient in Vijaypura. The others are contacts of previously diagnosed patients. 1 patient from Bengaluru Urban has presented with influenza-like illness. Patient 466, a 50-year-old man from Bengaluru Urban, committed suicide earlier today. He has been admitted to Victoria Hospital on the 24th of this month with a history of pneumonia. He was a known case of hypertension and he was also positive for hepatitis C. In addition to this, he suffered from chronic kidney disease and was on regular dialysis. Since he was a high-risk patient, his swab had been collected for testing and he had tested positive for COVID-19. His death is being attributed to a non-COVID-19 cause.
ICMR has asked all states to discontinue the use of rapid antibody kits after finding variations in field tests. On the 22nd of this month, the center has suspended tests until the ICMR had validated the kits. India had received a consignment of kits from Wanfo Biotech earlier this month, and the Chinese company, which had approved by the ICMR earlier, had defended its products, saying that the accuracy of the results depended on the incubation period. Karnataka had identified 5 groups of people most at risk for COVID-19 and had planned on starting the antibody tests with these groups. Moving on to the RT-PCR test, the ICMR has said that the approved price range for an RT-PCR test is between Rs 740 to Rs 1,150. It has said that no test has been procured at Rs 5,400 and has invited any Indian company wanting to supply these tests at a lower rate. The Supreme Court had first ruled that private labs would not charge for the RT-PCR test and had later reversed its own order, saying private labs could charge those who were not covered under the Ayushman Bharat scheme. In related news, the pricing of the rapid antibody kits has triggered a political row as court documents show that the government has paid more than double the cost of kits to companies importing them. Meanwhile, the Congress has urged the government to make public all purchases made in the last 1 month pertaining to COVID-19. India is in talks with Russia, China, Brazil and South Africa to set up an institution which will focus on research connected on epidemiology and the development of vaccines in order to preempt the response to diseases like COVID-19 in the future. As a sign of new priorities, India, China and other nations in the BRICS alliance will also discuss the possibility of holding joint exercises not amongst their militaries, but among the anti-epidemic units of the 5 nations. The US-based Center for Disease Control and Prevention adds 6 new coronavirus symptoms to its list. The CDC had previously listed cough, fever and shortness of breath as symptoms of coronavirus. Now, the latest update reveals that severe chills, repeated shaking with chills, muscle pain, headache, sore throat and a new loss of smell or taste are also symptoms of coronavirus.
Moving on to news from across the country, Prime Minister Narendra Modi held interactions with chief ministers today to discuss graded exit plans to lift lockdown after May 3rd. From initial reports, it appears that lockdown 3.0 will not be a blanket ban on movements but will have a focus on hotspots. There was a broad consensus among the 9 chief ministers about not lifting the restrictions altogether. Many states remain wary of allowing interstate movement from May 4th. Odisha and Goa have requested that the lockdown be extended by 1 more month. Telangana has already extended the lockdown until May 7th. The Prime Minister is likely to address the nation before May 3rd. After attending Prime Minister Narendra Modi's video conference, Chief Minister B.S. Yadurappa will interact with all the Deputy Commissioners to take stock of the COVID-19 situation. Containment measures in red zones are likely to be discussed. It is likely that the final call on lifting the lockdown will be taken at another video conference with Prime Minister Modi before May 3rd. This is the second video conference in which Chief Minister Yadurappa did not speak. The Supreme Court has asked the centre if there is a proposal to allow interstate movement of migrant workers who have been stranded in several states due to the countrywide lockdown imposed since March 25th. The court has directed the centre to reply within a week. A health audit in Jammu and Kashmir has revealed that almost 30 households out of 600 are showing symptomatic data for COVID-19. The data is being collected by medical officers who are on a door-to-door exercise in 15 out of 20 districts in the Union Territory. The survey so far has covered 3 lakh households involving 15 lakh individuals. Several people who have recovered from COVID-19 in Kasaragod have raised the issue that they were contacted by private hospitals offering follow-up treatment to improve immunity. This has raised suspicions whether personal data of COVID survivors was being illegally obtained by private hospitals. A preliminary police investigation has found that some of the calls were from a Bengaluru-based technology firm, and a detailed police probe is on to find out the source of the data leak. Basic contact details of COVID-19 patients like name, address and phone number is available with the police, health workers and local bodies, and the chances for leaking such information cannot be ruled out. Former Karnataka Chief Minister H.D. Kumaraswamy has proposed imposing a COVID cess on the ultra-rich to compensate for the revenue lost due to the lockdown. The JDS leader has also called for citizen-centric measures like full or partial EMI waivers, waivers for rents, school fees and such levies. Among his other suggestions, the government must slash petrol and diesel prices and save the livelihoods of those in the unorganized sector. He demanded immediate relief to farmers, construction workers, cab and auto drivers, garment workers and others. In a protest that directly took on Prime Minister Narendra Modi, taxi drivers who have lost their livelihood for more than a month banged empty vessels and plates to highlight the issues of hunger and poverty. The Bangalore Environment Trust has written to the Chief Minister to warn him that coronavirus could spread through wastewater. The report cited the example of the broken sewage treatment plant at Rishabhavati Valley and the release of sewage into Arkavati River, which joins the Kaveri River eventually. The raw sewage flowing into Bellandur Lake has been diverted into the Dakshina Pinakani River, damaging it irreversibly. The study said effective sewage surveillance can also help the government to indicate the scale of infection in hotspots. It suggested strengthening of STPs, drinking water treatment plants, and forming a pandemic control and prevention committee. Hubli's civic body has now launched Meat on Wheels in the city. The Hubli Dharwad Mahanagara Palike, in association with Karnataka Sheep and Wool Development Corporation, has introduced these mobile meat shops to sell chicken, mutton and egg. Vendors would be linked with wholesale meat suppliers so that the meat price could come down. A similar vehicle will be launched for Dharwad city as well.
Ever since the COVID-19 onslaught began, bats have gained a reputation quite unmatched by any other animal. A coalition of Indian scientists have said that bats have been unfairly cast in the role of a prime villain. Bats are also misrepresented by the media, according to an ICMR report which said that coronavirus was found in 2 species of Indian bats. However, one of the authors of the ICMR report clarified that the study was focused on finding the Nipah virus, and none of the bats showed SARS-CoV-2 infection. In a statement, up to 64 scientists and conservationists have spoken up against harming or displacing the flying mammals. And before we go, 2 patients who have recovered from COVID-19 donated plasma today, and with this, the HCG, which has an approval to conduct plasma therapy, has enough plasma to treat 4 patients. If you've recovered from COVID-19 and if you wish to help others recover, call the number on your screen. Inform the executive about your desire to donate blood as a recovered patient. Dial the extension 104 hashtag to speak to doctors who will then verify your details. That's all from Suraksha and me today. For the latest updates, log on to DeccanHerald.com. Stay safe, stay indoors, and we'll see you.